Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the Farmer and Sons Garage channel. This is episode 2 of Unibody number 2. This is the other 63 F100 Unibody. This is the green truck. We're still coming up with names. I gave you a pretty good walk around earlier. Just something quick that I forgot to mention is the main difference between these two trucks is this one is the custom cab. So it's actually got the custom cab right here, and it's got the full trim on both sides, which actually having the full trim on both sides in any condition is huge, just because those pieces are so hard to find. I mean, you could see a little bit earlier, this thing is full of walnuts. It's got a tarp. There is no body. I mentioned a potential body earlier. There is nothing like that in here, thank God. Possibly rodents or snakes. But and I was pretty impressed to see the bed floor is not totally gone. I mean, we knew it was pretty rough up in the front, hole up there. But, you know, I mean, what we're going to do, we're going to take this whole center out right here anyway. So, you know, kind of makes it not hurt as bad cutting it up when it's pretty far gone anyway. But, I mean, this thing's just full of the vegetation. We'll post pictures on Dad's Instagram channel, Farmer and Sons Garage. And it's actually Farmer and Sons Garage on Instagram. We'll have some pictures of how it looked when we went up and saw it. So it definitely was sitting there for quite a while. They've got trash and I don't know what is that?
Oh, an old oil can.
An old can. But I mean, there's who knows what in here. Yeah.
Have you checked out like the inside yet?
Yeah, the interior, you know, I mean, it's, you can see the corrodiness on the back here still. We're going to pressure wash and clean this thing up in this video, but inside's not terrible. I mean, the floorboards are soft, and they got mats here, and, I mean, it's soft. You can see underneath the gas pedal and the brake pedal, you can see where it's got holes up there. Dash doesn't look bad in this truck. It's a pretty good looking dash in this old truck. Steering wheel's got the sun cracks and everything you usually see in it. But I mean, you know, it's a 63 model truck. You know, it's
got a nice snake skin hanging over. I don't know if y'all can see that under the dash. There's a nice snake skin. I guess we might be in for a surprise when we open the glove box.
Yeah.
So we can walk around.
And here's another cool thing on this truck. Is this actually factory air?
No, those are the vents on each side that open up.
And what's the box under the dash?
That's one of the vents, and it's part of like the heater box.
Did yours have that in it?
Yeah.
I thought that was wild.
Yeah. So we'll head over here to this side and check out the glove box. So you might want to be careful. You want me to open it?
I'll open it.
I want to step back quick. Well, it's had a snake in there at one time. It's cleared its skeletons off, and no wonder there's been a snake, because there was a rat's nest. There's a big rat's nest we'll have to suck out here in a minute. And you can see all the collection of bugs. So it's definitely had mice and rats.
See, the step on this side is a lot worse shape than the other side.
Yeah, so see, we're going to be cutting a big section of that out, and just about all of that little part in there is going to be gone anyway with where the Crown Vic runs through there. So yeah, we'll be cutting that part off anyway. So the fact that that's rusted out won't be that big a deal. So, all right, we're going to pause the video for a second, and we're going to start pressure washing. got some killer patina. That's got a sticker on it. Droves his love. Look at that.
That's a whole nother truck, man. Alright guys, so me and Dad just pressure washed and sprayed all the growth and scale and dirt and grime and mold off of it, and it's come around a lot. I mean, look at that. That grill looks incredible. The hood's got incredible patina on it. I mean, it's going to come out so well. Look at that in there. The character and the natural patina of this thing is incredible. Let's take a quick little lap down both sides. Incredible. Bed came out pretty good too. Get some sun there. But I have to go from this side. The bed came out really good too. So that's a place we knew was soft, punched through. But this side is really not terrible over here. I mean, there's still some crud in there, but it's really not that bad.
The whole bed overall.
The bed overall is good shape. So we're getting ready to go inside and really shop back this thing out inside and sharpen it up some.
Okay, so we've done some pressure washing on it. I mean, we've not done a real deep cleaning as far as soaping it up and really wiping it off. We just knocked kind of the mold and the top layer. So we already showed you a little snake skin over there. We kind of cleaned the glove box out. So we're going to open up and get ready to go inside and actually do some more shop vacuum, clean the dash off, all that stuff. We've not even looked under the seat or behind the seat yet. After we saw the snake skin, we've kind of been cautious because we don't really know what kind of snake it is and if it's still living in here. That skin looked old, but you never can tell if it's got another place. So we'll go ahead and lean the seat forward. And there's some junk, and holy cow, this thing has a little more snake skin. This has gun racks. That is cool. That's some kind of lock. If they had, I guess they had the guns locked at some point. So this thing will actually put those up. I may go to the other side. I don't know if those were made for this truck. They just added them to it, I guess. But that is really cool.
Some old newspaper in there behind the seat.
Yeah, it's not made for this truck because it was made to bolt like top and bottom, and so it's not really actually made for this truck. Somebody just put them in here, but that is really cool. So I don't know if we'll be able to, I guess we'll see, depending how the Crown Vic seats line up and stuff, but.
There's another snake skin right there.
Yeah, that doesn't really look that great from back here. Those are where they're not actually made for it. But that was kind of neat. So we will get the shop back out, hit the behind the seat, under the seat, the floorboard, clean the dash off and all that stuff. It has a headliner in it, but it is toast. It's all, you know, where it's set so long, it's hanging down. It's got, the sun visors might be all right. Yeah, it's got a good set of sun visors, I think. So that's a plus. My truck does not have sun visors. It needs them badly. So that's a pretty cool thing that this one does have. Hey guys, get you to come on over here a little bit. So, like I said, this truck's in pretty rough shape as far as the rust condition. So you can see after we pulled the mat out, I mean, it's eat out, and that's all gone. We probably vacuumed out 10 pounds of scaly, flaky rust. I mean, this thing is just roached out, rotted out. So, I mean, as far as what we're doing, where we cut the floor, firewall, all that stuff out, we kind of contemplated leaving the dash, the truck dash in on this one. I've actually got a buddy of mine that lives close by that has a 64 model Crown Vic swap full frame where they kept the truck dash, did the Crown Vic firewall, put the Crown Vic steering wheel through, but used the truck dash, and then got like a 65, 66 cluster and put the Crown Vic instruments inside, or gauges inside that. He talked about how tight the fit is in that, with it still being, I think on it still has the truck floorboard, and they just maybe use the firewall, not the floor from the Crown Vic. That's what I gotta go check out. I've heard other guys talk about how tight it is on the fit. So with mine, on my blue truck, where we used Crown Vic floor, well, I actually put a Grand Marquis bench seat in it. I'm 6'6", 36-inch inseam on my pants, and I actually have room in that. I mean, I've still got a little bit of knee room. I sit real low in the cab because the floor on the car is so low. And I've got room, my son Laban's got room. We can ride it all day long comfortably. It's not cramped. So I'm gonna check that out because we were kind of thinking about leaving the truck dash in on this one and going that route just to make it look more like an original when you look inside. But if we're gonna be giving up room and comfort, plus you got to do all that extra work with the wiring, you got to do all the extra work with the air conditioning and running the lines and stuff. So anyway, I think we'll talk about that as we move forward. But anyway, with this one being so rusted out and rotted out, you know, cutting the floor out and using the Crown Vic floor is an absolute no-brainer. That takes out a whole lot of this repair work. And yeah, I mean, the dash is in pretty good shape. I mean, it'll clean up good and it's still solid. So we, like I said, we'll still debate that on whether or not we try to keep this truck dash in this one and work everything in around it. Again, I'm gonna check with my buddy that's got one and see how it fits. And as you can see, this one is really, really rough inside. The doors overall are solid. You know, all the exterior sheet metal is pretty solid under the hood. You know, on the inner fenders and stuff is really good. The bed overall, other than the normal place, the unibodies all seem to have the issues. You know, overall, the inner bed tubs and all that stuff's good. The tailgate, of course, is in rough shape. I'm gonna have to do somebody tried to do some junky repair there on each side where it rusted out on the corners. So I'll have my work cut out for me on patching that in, or trying to clean that up and get it to work right. But anyway, it's going to be a project, as all of them are, and doing it the way we're doing it with the Crown Vic floor actually makes sense with how, since there's no floor left in this one to work with. So the purists hopefully won't get mad at us on this one. They'll say, well, you know, we're taking a truck that, for all intents and purposes, was just rotting away and didn't look like it was ever going to see the light of day again. So we're giving it a new chance and a new life and putting all new, you know, this truck has no power steering, no power brakes, drum brakes, and we're going to be switching over to rack and pinion steering, four-wheel disc brakes, you know, big good brakes, power steering with rack and pinion. You know, the Watts Link rear end on the Crown Vic. I mean, it's just a really, really, that's why everybody does this. That suspension setup is really good, especially, you know, these things rode horrible, stopped horrible, don't get up to interstate speed. When they were built, the speed limits of the roads were not the way they are today. So back in its day, it was fine for that time period, but these days, doing this Crown Vic swap with all the modern equipment and powertrain, and just at the cost savings, you know, with us getting you can buy the whole car running condition and just drop the truck down on it. Just makes sense from a workload standpoint and from a value standpoint. It's just hard to beat it. You know, my blue truck with the Crown Vic swap, I'm not even in $5,000 deep on it. I don't think, even with buying the Mustang wheels and tires and the few little things I did have to purchase along the way. I mean, we're in that probably $5 grand total. And we're hoping on this one, you know, because along the way, in that I'm including selling like when I did mine, I sold the Y-block engine, I sold the 3-speed transmission, I sold the 9-inch Ford rear, sold the steering column out of the truck. Then when I started cutting the Crown Vic up, I sold the front bumper cover, the rear bumper cover. I sold the wheels that were on the truck originally once I took it off its frame. Ended up cutting up the frame and what was left of the Crown Vic sheet metal. I took that to a local metal scrapyard or recycling place, and I think I got $50 for the 2 loads on that. So that was a little bit of money back. And like I said, so once you take what I spent on the Crown Vic, what I spent on the truck, all what I spent, and I'm kind of counting my tools and equipment too as I was buying as I went through, then selling the pieces back, I'm way under $5 grand total investment on that truck. And that's what we're hoping to do on this one. We're hoping when this is done and running and on the road, that we'll be in it for less than $5,000. And you know, it's hard to find a running vehicle in decent shape for $5,000 these days. And I've got a truck now I can take to car shows. It's not a show winner, but it's something I can take to local cruise-ins. And you know, as I'm driving through town, people are giving me thumbs up, turning their heads. If I pull into gas stations, people want to come over and talk to me about it. It gathers a crowd wherever I go. And bang for your buck, where else can I find anything at that price that's going to draw that much attention and run that good? That I know it's going to start every time I go out and get in it. I feel comfortable going to Texas tomorrow if I needed to in that truck. I wouldn't worry about that at all. I feel fine driving that. Same with this one. Once we get it swapped, I wouldn't have a problem jumping in it and going anywhere in the country because you're in a good, reliable vehicle. And if you have a problem along the way, instead of having to go try to find something for a 63 truck, I can go into any O'Reilly's, Advance, AutoZone, Napa, and look for a Crown Vic part that's only 20 years old. You know, mine's a 2001 Crown Vic. This one will be a 2009 Crown Vic, and those parts are cheap and easy to find, and still being made. You know, a lot of the stuff on these old trucks is obsolete, or you know, you can't find it. So. We'll come back in a minute, close out this video. This is kind of just a little cleanup and kind of getting a look at what we actually got, uncovering and digging down to the bare bones of this one. And as we can see, it's got a lot of broken bones. So hopefully we're gonna, with the transplant we do, we'll get all that back into good health. So we'll be back in a minute to finish this one up. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this video up. And if you've watched my channel, at the end of each video, I always try to put in a Bible verse or just something, you know, like a little devotional or something. So if you're not into that, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you subscribe. Follow us on this build and anything we do in the future. And we'd love to have you as part of our channel. Give us a like, leave us a comment down below. And hopefully you'll stick with us on this truck. But to finish up this video, just, you know, with the things that have happened over the last couple of years and all the different way things have been going, I feel like there's a lot of people kind of like this truck that have kind of feel like they've been set aside or forgotten about or you know, cast away. And I just want to give you some hope and some courage. This truck, we're going to try to give it some hope, give it some new life, and it's got hopefully a great future ahead of us. And for anyone out there watching, no matter what you've been through in the past, no matter if you feel like you've been cast away and set aside, forgotten about, neglected, forgotten, you know, whatever your mindset is or whatever the way you feel like that, I just want to uplift you today and just tell you that there's brighter days ahead, just like when you're sitting in this truck looking forward. the windshield's a whole lot bigger than the rear view mirror. So keep focused on what you've got in front of you. Don't worry about the past. Wherever you're at, like this truck, as the chapter it was in with the previous owner has come to an end. You know, we're starting a new chapter for it. And just like God can do for you in your life, put down the pen, hand it over to Him, let Him start writing the rest of your story. And you've got big things in front of you. I truly believe that. There's somebody watching this that really, I think, needs to know that there are good days ahead for you. There's brighter days ahead for you. And that God has an awesome plan for your life. And if you will seek Him, follow after Him, delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. I'm living proof of that. I've used that before. I think that's Psalms 37:4. We'll put that down below and change that if it's not, but I'm pretty sure that's Psalms 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. I've used that Bible verse before, and God just continues to prove that over and over. It's not always a bed of roses. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, one of these persons that's going to tell you everything's going to be great if you give your heart to the Lord. But I can tell you it's a whole lot better with Him than it is without Him. And I wouldn't want to live another day without Jesus as my Savior and leading my life. So if you're out there and you don't know God, there's no better day than today to call out and ask Him. Whenever you watch this video, wherever you're sitting, take a minute right now just to talk to God, just like I'm talking to you, whoever you are watching this. Just same way I'm talking to you, just start talking to God right now. Tell Him what you feel bad about, what you feel guilty about. You want Him to forgive you. Just a normal conversation like you're having with me. And that's what it takes, is a personal relationship with God. It'll change your life, and it will totally, completely resurrect your situation. Leave us a comment, a like I said before. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.